Today we're recapping the 2014 movie Edge of Tomorrow. It begins with news outlets reporting on a devastating alien invasion, resulting in millions of casualties worldwide. After 5 years, a significant victory is achieved at Verdun, but the war continues. Major William Cage, a media relations officer, announces new jacket technology creating super soldiers with minimal training. Among them is Rita Vrataski, the Angel of Verdun, a symbol of hope due to her prowess in battle. On her first day, she killed hundreds of alien mimics single-handedly. Officers believe this technology will turn the tide of the war. Cage reveals that Operation Downfall will be the largest mechanized invasion in history. Cage arrives in London to meet the general at the United Defense Force headquarters. The general discusses the operation, acknowledging many lives will be lost. As the U.S. media officer, the general assigns Cage to promote the invasion and informs him he will be shipping out to the coast in an hour. Cage will land with the first wave in France. Cage resists, stating he is not a soldier and cannot stand the sight of blood. The general insists, making it clear it is an order, not a request. Cage attempts to blackmail the general, but as he leaves the office, he is arrested. He tries to escape but is caught and tasered. Cage wakes up disoriented on a pile of luggage, as an officer calls him a maggot and orders him to stand. Sergeant Farrell approaches, explaining that Cage is at the forward operating base with fresh recruits. Cage introduces himself as an American officer and asks to contact his commanding officer, but Farrell tells him the base is in lockdown. Farrell pretends to help, but instead leads Cage to a tent where papers label Cage as a deserter impersonating an officer. Farrell demotes him to private and assigns him to the J Squad, who are gambling as punishment. Farrell makes them eat their cards and instructs them to prepare Cage for combat by the next day. The squad gears up with exosuits, but Cage, unfamiliar with the technology, struggles to operate his suit. A teammate, Griff, helps him but warns that he cannot harm anyone with the safety on. The squad boards transport planes for the invasion and Cage tries to run away on the plane, but the squad mocks him. With 1 minute left before the drop, Cage asks how to disable the safety, but no one answers. The aircraft is hit by enemy fire and the squad is forced to drop one by one. Cage, hesitant, is the last to jump. He lands on the beach amid chaos, and as he struggles with his suit, a plane nearly crushes him, but he dodges in time. Cage watches Rita fight mimics and witnesses her death. As he attempts to flee, a sergeant stops him. The squad regroups but is quickly overwhelmed by the enemy. Cage finally gets his suit working just as a mimic attacks. He grabs a bomb and kills the alien, but its blood splashes on him, causing his face to melt. He screams in agony before waking up on the same pile of luggage. Realizing he is reliving the same day, Cage recognizes everything happening around him. He tries to warn others, but events unfold as before. He watches Rita die again, and in an attempt to help her, he is shot. As he dies, he wakes up on the luggage once more, now determined to change the outcome. Cage confronts Sergeant Farrell and accurately predicts everything about him and the events to come, but Farrell dismisses him and takes him to J Squad. Cage reveals his knowledge of the squad members, including their hidden cards, but they ignore him and duct tape his mouth. Before the next drop, Cage removes the tape but is dropped first. On the beach, he tries to save a teammate from a crashing plane but dies again, waking up on the luggage once more. After repeatedly reliving the same day, Cage learns to avoid various deaths. He eventually saves Rita and tells her what is happening. Recognizing his knowledge, she instructs him to find her whenever he resets. They are killed by an explosion and Cage resets again. Back with the J Squad, Cage changes his approach, preventing punishment by covering the cards, training with the squad, and even attempting to escape by rolling under an army truck. He fails initially, but succeeds on his second try, evading capture. Cage tracks down Rita during a training session and tells her that she had previously instructed him to find her each time he wakes up. Farrell warns Cage not to tell anyone about his ability, as doing so could land him in a psychiatric ward or worse, be dissected for study. Rita asks Cage about his experiences and notes that the enemy seems to know their every move. She then reveals that she once had the same ability but lost it. She takes Cage to the weapons repair department where they meet Dr. Carter, a physicist and biologist who knows Rita has died multiple times. Dr. Carter introduces himself as the only one who truly understands mimic biology. He explains to Cage that they are not fighting a traditional army but should think of the mimics as a single organism. The mimic Cage killed was an alpha, a rare part of the enemy's central nervous system. Dr. Carter then shows Cage the Omega, which acts as the brain that controls all mimics. He explains that the Omega can reset time whenever an Alpha dies, allowing it to anticipate future events, which makes it nearly impossible to defeat. From this point forward, the story continues with Cage and Rita trying to find ways to defeat the Omega by using their knowledge and ability to reset time. Through constant training, reliving numerous deaths, and enduring countless resets, Cage eventually figures out how to reach and destroy the Omega, ultimately saving humanity from the alien threat. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more movie recaps.